going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And I've missed this. I freaking missed this. It's been only 1 week without Champions League and I'm thinking like I'm going to die. I need some more Champions League and I know you do too. So today we're gonna do the match preview of the biggest match of probably the next 2 days, and that's going to be Barcelona versus Chelsea. My dearest Barcelona will face off against the Londoners in this huge match, a huge classic of the European derbies. I gotta say, we have derbies like PSG versus Chelsea, others like Real Madrid versus Juventus, but this one, Barcelona versus Chelsea, is also very special. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check the videos I'm gonna leave you up here and also in the description down below. Those are gonna be videos talking about Real Madrid versus PSG and also talking about the match between Spurs and Juventus. So if you want more Champions League content, be sure to check out those videos which I already uploaded. And also I have a special video discussing whether can PSG come back and talking about the main reasons why I think PSG choked at the Bernabeu. Just like always, guys, please remember to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. You get the deal, you know the drill, so let's get right to it. Okay, now, so we're gonna start off talking about this match preview with the current form of my dearest Barcelona. I gotta say that Barcelona have been enjoying a current good run of form in the last games, but there has been some moments where we just are not convincing enough. For instance, a moment like that is the match against Eibar, where we won 2-0, and that's great because we're still unbeaten. We broke the club record of 30 games unbeaten. Now it's 31. Really good, really good to have that. But we haven't been playing so good. Even though we get the goals, we're still winning. And I gotta say that can be like a blessing in disguise, because sometimes around the big teams, the teams you need to beat, basically the real elite world club teams, knows how to win when they play good and also know how to win when they play bad. So I think that could be like a double-edged sword, but I really would like to see a little bit more of Barcelona coming into this match against Chelsea. In the last 10 games, we've also, I think, only conceded in 3 of them, so that's quite good. Only conceding 3 goals, I think, in total, so that's a quite good margin for Barcelona. Something that Valverde has really tightened up in this season. He has really made the defense quite good, and that's something really good, especially for knockout competitions like here against Chelsea, because we want to definitely not concede as much, because for instance, if we go away, we may concede a goal and that's gonna put us in a very tight spot for the next round. So that's why I'm thinking that the defense and this team, Barcelona team, could be good in sort of cup competitions, but still, you know, the playing style, it's a little bit worrying. We've also drawn, I think, from the last 4 matches, drawn 3 of them. So it's quite, you know, here and there, not so good. We've also drawn 0-0 with Getafe at the Camp Nou, so not a huge performance. But coming into this match, I think that the players are ready. Definitely it's going to be difficult playing against someone like Eibar and Getafe, knowing that your biggest match of the season against Chelsea is going to be played in just a few days. So that may have had a little bit of an influence, but hopefully we come back with a fresh mind just to stand up and hopefully batter Chelsea and hopefully score at least 2 goals, because those are the more important thing. Moving on into Chelsea, I gotta say that Chelsea have been also recently gotten 2 games with huge score lines. They won 3-0, I think it was against, I don't remember who they played 3-0. Let me just check. They played against West Brom. They scored 3-0. Yeah, I remember that. 2 goals from Hazard. And they also played 4-0 and won against Hull City in the FA Cup. So definitely 2 good results for Chelsea. That's something very good and something that we need to give credit for them, because they've been recently enjoying quite a bad run of form before that, losing against Watford, losing against Bournemouth, losing against somebody else. I don't remember exactly who it was. But they lost like 3 games out of the bounds. And coming in this one, they have actually gotten a little bit of form back after winning West Brom and also winning at Hull City. So very good for them. But the real thing is going to be which Chelsea team is going to turn up. Similar to what I spoke about between Real Madrid and PSG, it's all about which team is going to show up. Similar to Real Madrid, Chelsea are in a similar problem where some days they just play amazing football and some other day they just, you know, suck ass. For instance, the defense in the last 2 games only conceded 0 goals and scoring a total of 7, so plus 7 goal difference. But before that, they scored 0 goals and they conceded like 3 or they conceded 4 goals. So it's quite, you know, out of nowhere. It's either the attack is really good or the defense is really bad, or the defense is really good and the attack is really bad. So something has to be done with that Chelsea team. I think that Antonio Conte, what's doing right now, putting in and giving chances to other defenders such as Amparo, or giving it back again to David Luiz, has been really helping the squad to freshen up in defense. Although I think that he really needs to start playing, you know, some constant defenders, because the partnership between defenders is gonna give a really good solidity and confidence to the team. So that's where I think that Antonio Conte has really been working in these last few matches, and that's why I think I'm a really bit nervous, because we should get at least, Barcelona should try and get at least one goal at Stamford Bridge, because that sets you up for a very good away leg, second leg. So that's very good, and right now the defense of Chelsea is playing quite decent. But like I say, it's about which team turns up, and it's about which defenders are playing, which attack is playing. Is it either playing Morata or Giroud? It's all about that. So right now, that leads me perfectly to my second part of the match preview, and that is talking about the ones to watch. Which players are the ones to watch for this one? Definitely for Chelsea, it has to be none other than Hazard. Barcelona right now are quite pragmatic, they're quite defensive in sometimes, and it's really hard to, you know, have enough time and possession in the box. I think that Eibar really is the only team who has ever beaten us in possession in this season for a quite big margin of the 90 minutes. For at least like 30 minutes, Eibar had the most possession. They were really cramping us down to our box, and that's something that not too many teams have ever done in the last few years. So I gotta say that Chelsea, if they're looking to do something like that and quite of dominate against Barcelona, Hazard has to be in the main front of that. Alongside people like Cesc Fabregas, I think that Hazard has the ability to create out of nothing. He's the best player at Chelsea, definitely, and one of the best players in the world. So definitely, it's all going to be eyes on him, because he has the ability to give people other chances, such as Willian, Pedro, or even Morata or Giroud. So it's all about him, and he can also score goals out of nothing. So I think that the main player to watch for Chelsea has to be Hazard. On the other hand, we take a look at Barcelona and we say, oh, definitely it has to be Messi, but I'm going to talk about something really more interesting to give you something different, because I could just say Messi and it's obviously the one to watch has to be Messi. But in this one, I want to talk something about very interesting. I'm going to talk about Rakitic. I think that Rakitic has to be the main man during this match, because we know Iniesta, he creates, he does his job. We know Busquets, very good, distributes the ball around the midfield, also very commanding, all nice. But Rakitic has to be the main player to cut down spaces and really do the work that not too many people do. That's why I think that alongside Rakitic, someone like Paulinho could start, because those two players are going to be very difficult for someone like Conte, either Bakayoko, or even like Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses through the different sides, because those players are definitely going to try to go a little bit wider. And with that, Barcelona, that is currently playing quite narrow, we're going to need people like Rakitic and Paulinho to try and mark them down. I think that Rakitic is also going to be very influential in trying to bring the ball all the way for defense to attack. He has been a player who has really been working very, very good under Valverde, and has really found that form that really led us to the treble in that 2015 season. I think that he has everything to play a very good match, and hopefully he becomes a key man for that, because Rakitic in the midfield, some of the days he's just superb, but some other he's quite invisible. So hopefully this match against Chelsea, he's really saving up something for the fans, because I think that Rakitic could be very, very good in this one to try and really ease us through during this match. So with that being said, we move onward to the predicted lineups of the two teams, and we're going to start off discussing about Chelsea. Courtois, definitely one of the best players, is going to start. The defense is something where I'm really, really worried about, because like I said, sometimes they play a very good defense, the other ones they don't play too good. So I think that Antonio Conte would most definitely go with this one. I think he's going to play with Azpilicueta, I think he's going to play with Gary Cahill, and I think he's going to play with David Luiz. I think David Luiz will be a key man here, because in the defense, especially with people like Messi and Suarez trying to pressure you out of the get-go, David Luiz is one of the best players to play it out of the back, one very good ball playing center back. So I think that he will be very, very crucial for that, and especially trying to pass the ball for people through the left to Marcos Alonso or to Victor Moses. On the left wing back position, I'm going to say Marcos Alonso. I'm not too sure if he's injured or not. If he's injured, David Zappacosta could start there, or even Emerson, but I think that Conte has a little bit more reliability on Zappacosta, so I would say Zappacosta or Marcos Alonso. For the right wing back, definitely Victor Moses, very good player going forward and also very good defending, so quite good in that position. In the middle of the field, I think he's going to go with two midfielders of Cesc Fabregas and Conte. I think that N'Golo Conte is going to be a key man here, also trying to block people like Paulinho doing their work, and also through Iniesta for the left hand side. Definitely going to be very hard to mark those players, but I think that Conte has enough ability to try and do so. Up top, I think he's going to go with a 3 up front. This is going to be definitely to stretch out the defense of Barcelona, because that's where we really are cut out. So in that being said, I think that he's going to go for the left with Hazard for the middle. Definitely he could go with Giroud, because he has been playing really good these last few minutes, but I think he's going to save it for later, and I think he's going to go with Morata for those counterattacks, knowing that they're not going to have the ball too much of the time. On the right hand side, I think he's going to go with Pedro, but Willian really should deserve the start. Willian played an amazing game against Hull City, so definitely he really deserved the notch over Pedro. But I think he's gonna go with Pedro for the experience, and really playing against their old team is gonna be that extra motivation. So I'm gonna say Pedro. In the other hand, we move onwards to Barcelona, and I think it's going to be like this one. I think we're going to play a 4-4-2, and we're going to play with Ter Stegen in goal. We're going to have Gerard Piqué, Umtiti as the 2 main center backs. For the left, Jordi Alba. For the right, Sergio Roberto. Nelson Semedo could have been an option, especially trying to get past someone like Marcos Alonso. But in that sense, Nelson Semedo, I think he's sanctioned or something like that. He's not playing. He hasn't even been called up for the squad for this match. So something's going on with Semedo, but it's not because of tactical decision. It's because there's another reason. In the midfield, we're going to go with Busquets and Rakitic. For the right hand side, I think it's going to be with Paulinho. And for the left, it's going to be with Andres Iniesta. And then up top, we're going to have Lionel Messi and Suarez. And now finally, we move onward to my match prediction. And I'm thinking really that it's complicated for Barcelona, because I don't see we're playing really good football to just go to Chelsea and be like really dominant. I think that Chelsea is going to put a very good match, but I think that Barcelona is going to edge it, because after all, we're a pragmatic team. We know how to defend. We've been very good going forward when we need to, and after all, we are scoring goals and we're not conceding. That's something very good, and a very good argument for this one. It's hard not to be unbiased because I'm a Barcelona fan. I'm trying to look at it in every single possibility, but I think that actually Barcelona could get a win, or perhaps 2-0. So my prediction for this one is going to be 2-0. I think it's going to be a very tense match. The goals may come, for instance, 1 goal at the start of the match, and then 1-0 throughout all of it. And then in the 88th minute, another goal for Barcelona, and that could be the case. So coming back to Camp Nou, we're going to have a very more attacking Chelsea and a very more defensive Barcelona, perhaps. And that's going to be the real match. This match against Stamford Bridge is going to be this match to like taste the waters. And then that's where the real match at the Camp Nou is going to be. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Just like always, remember to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. Make sure to make this channel a part of your daily routine. I've been your host for the day. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.